Hey everybody, John here and Susie, my beautiful bride over here from Starter Mom Blog and Incomesh.com. And we're here to talk to you guys about one of the long-standing battles in both our family as well as most people when they're figuring out how to start and grow their online business. They're always fighting over the free traffic idea over here and the paid traffic guy over here. And in this video, we're just going to have like that his and her argument, right? We're going to have the dispute, the debate in front of you. We'll keep it civil, right? I still love you. But we're going to talk about the pros, the cons. What is free traffic? What is paid traffic? Who's it for? All those questions that you probably have on your mind when you're just getting started or thinking about starting your online business. And to kind of start off with this, Susie, I know that we got started in the free traffic world and we kind of graduated or navigated our way into the paid traffic. Do you want to tell us a little bit about how you got started with our online business and how it kind of grew along?
Yeah, definitely. So, wow, a couple years ago when John was still at his corporate career, and at that time I just quit my job. We had our first baby. I was back at home. We were living off one income, and it was a little tough. So all the responsibility was on John's shoulders to make sure that we can pay our mortgage, pay our car payments, pay for our groceries, think about extending and growing our family. So now we have one baby. Am I echoing with you?
No, sounds good.
Okay. And growing, having more little babies like we have back here. And we were just like, it was stressful. So, okay, I'm echoing somewhere.
Okay, so I'll continue on while you're figuring that out.
Yeah.
And I remember there was one time I was at my job. I had like a ton of meetings that day, and Susie kept calling because she was fighting with Comcast, our cable provider, and she was getting so fiery over like $20, and not like $20 per month, like over a $20 receipt that we felt we deserved and that they took from us. And so times were tough. So if you're in a similar position like that, just understand that we were there too, and we got started there, but it kind of got a little bit better. Susie, are you still echoing over there?
Yeah, I think I'm good. I think so. This is weird. I'm going to be great. So I would go to Comcast, and I remember standing in line for multiple times, me pregnant with our second baby, with our little other baby there, sitting in line for hours to go and argue about our bill, because saving an extra $20 or so on really meant a lot. And it would be a continual saving. So it would be our monthly bill would be lower for like a year. And I'm like, oh, that would be like $260 or whatever dollars. So I remember how it was with just having one income, and we didn't have the money then to spend on, hey, go buy this big business idea and then run traffic to it, when I didn't even know what my idea was yet. So that's why I fell in love with blogging, and I did blogging myself. It helped me have that creative outlet for connecting with other people when I was stuck at home being pregnant. I don't want to leave the house. I had another baby with me. Like, it was just hard to get out of the house. So I loved being able to dive into my blog, connect with other moms, and start testing out, hey, do I like talking about this? Do I like, okay, my goodness. You hear that?
Do Not Disturb is not on yet.
So now it's off, telemarketer. So
those pesky marketers.
No, don't cold call people like that. So it was hard to like spend money on something. So I had time. I was at home. I could start blogging. I could start learning my voice. I could start seeing what strengths I have online. Who do I want to serve? What I want to create to serve them with. And that was fantastic for me. For the first couple of years, all we did was organic or free traffic, where I would spend my time writing blog posts, creating content. And with that, I would get traffic back to my blog that would either convert into affiliate sales, ad income, services, or products.
Absolutely. And then over time, it started to go from being a hobby and being a passion project into being a business that was creating somewhat of a consistent income month over month. And we could see that was growing.
It was making more than your corporate job with my little blog.
Not for a long time, but it did start to get that way, which was fantastic. And when that started to happen, as we started to see that inflection point of going from being a passion project to being a potential side business and maybe even our main business, that's when it clearly got my attention, because I was like, what the heck's going on here? I'm gone for so many hours every day and I'm not seeing my kids and I'm making less money than my wife. It was like an ego shot for sure. So me, in my retaliatory ways, I looked at how could I really come into this business? How could I be part of it? And how could I help it grow and really be not just like a helper, but like be another arm, another aspect to the business. And I came from a background of engineering. Like I was all about the data, like Excel, Google Sheets, all that stuff is my happy place. And so when I realized how I could really help out was this idea about what if there was this money making machine where I could put $1 in and get a $2 out, right? Like we would all put a lot of dollars into that machine to get more dollars out, right? Like, I think we would all agree to that. And while paid traffic is not this magic money machine, right? It's not easy, but there are processes. We went through years of figuring out how to turn it into a working process. But I decided to dive into the world of paid advertising, of figuring out how can we take this blog where we're just creating content and it's kind of like throwing a bunch of things against the wall, and how can I create a system where I knew exactly what was going on. I knew down to like a very minute detail how much money we're spending, how much money we're making, what the ROI is, and we're able to turn it into a much more sustainable and scalable business, which has been super fun.
Yeah.
And throughout all of that, we know both sides. We know the free side, we know the paid side. And this is where I think this video is really helpful. If you're not sure which way to go, you'll hear kind of both of our perspectives in this video.
Yeah. And
Cool.
that works for our personalities too, because you're a data-driven engineer. You want to see things black and white. And you like numbers speak to you. And they speak to me. I love numbers. I was an engineer too. But I'm more creative. I'm going to create my printables. I'm going to create my pin images. I'm just going to throw this against the wall and I'm going to pray it works. And sometimes it does and it goes viral and you're like, wow, that was awesome. I'm getting all this cool viral free traffic. But it's unpredictable. You don't always know if you publish that blog post, is it going to work? You're a little bit of a hoping game. And you're like, oh, I'm doing cold outreach to get backlinks. I'm trying to guest post. It is a lot of work to make your blog grow organically. But the work that you put in compounds and works on itself. So that's also a really good thing. But with paid traffic, that is so in your game because you're just like, look at the numbers. This is what I do. You don't have any emotion attached to what you're looking at. You can say, okay, this is not working. I'm going to tweak this and go forward with this. And where I'm like, well, I like it. It's pretty. So what I'm going to do.
What do you mean there's no emotion? Come on, I'm not some heartless calculator. There's a lot of, and if you feel that way, if you look at this guy is like this like very drone type of data guy, no, there's actually a ton of both sides of the brain when it comes into the paid traffic world, but we'll get into that later on. One thing I want to just kind of bring up, because I titled this thing free versus paid, and I did that like for a reason, because truth be told, there is no such thing as free traffic in the world. You're either going to pay with your time or with your money. And so I think what we can do now, Susie, is let's talk about like, when you say free traffic, what are the ways that you can get free traffic and what's that ridiculous picture back there?
I cheat. I make notes before we talk because this helps me.
All right. So what does free traffic even mean? Because to me, that is a total misnomer.
All right. So blogging, you can blog and get free traffic. You're spending your time. So it's not entirely free because somehow you're paying for it, either in your time or with money. But when we were a one income family, that was how I could pay for my content. So I created content on my blog. You can podcast, you can do YouTube videos like we are here, social media, so Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, which is more like a search engine. You can do guest posting, SEO. You can organically build your email list through blogging and then send your newest blog post to your email list, and that can bring back traffic. So those are the major ways that you can have free traffic to your website.
Absolutely. And maybe a better way to call it is earned traffic, because it's not free. It's not being given to you, right? You are earning it. And if you want to figure out what your hourly value is, you can figure out how much time you're putting into your blog posting and how much traffic you're getting out. Of course, the beauty of that is you make that blog post once and it can serve you day after day after day. Whereas when I'll talk about in paid traffic is you stop paying the man, you stop paying Facebook, you stop paying Google, the traffic doesn't go away immediately. There's a lot of residual, but it does pretty much drop off. And that's kind of the beauty and the downside of the paid traffic world. So we're talking paid traffic. It's either your Facebook ads is definitely king right now for getting started. The first place to go in general is Facebook ads. If you're selling anything like digital products or physical products even, or you're coaching, consulting, providing services, you can find your customers on Facebook. Everybody in the world is on Facebook. It's an easy place to get started. But you can also do Google and YouTube ads, which are quite popular. They're growing. They're slightly more complicated, so they're not really where beginners start. And one of our favorite ways of doing paid traffic is actually kind of you don't think of it as paid traffic, but having an affiliate program for your own stuff, your own products. We do actually have an affiliate program if you're part of our courses where you can send traffic, and it's like, is that paid traffic or not? But basically the way it works is people can send traffic over into your marketing funnel, your sales funnel. And if they buy off of a referral, you can get a commission for that. So all these ways are you taking away your time aspect. If your time is your most valuable resource, then finding ways of being able to leverage a little bit of your finances and your network to create that income stream as well.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So the benefits here. Let's talk about like kind of the pros and cons. This is like the fight between us here. So free and earned traffic has some huge benefits. What do you think some of those are, Susie?
Wow. So the pros and cons kind of like line up together when you think about blogging. It takes a long time to grow your blog and grow that organic traffic or that free earned traffic. But once it's there, it's an asset that you have. All those blog posts that I've written over the years, they still bring me traffic. There are assets on my blog that I can continue using in the future, and I can go tweak them and update them, make them better, add new links to them, recommend new products or new freebies. They're always there. They do cost time to create this. So you can either spend your money on ads or your time on blogging. Blogging allows you to experiment, especially if you don't know who your audience is or what you want to sell them or what you want to help them with. Blogging allows you to discover who you are and what you want to help the world with. So instead of you're just spending your time, you're discovering yourself, your strengths, and then once you kind of hone in on that and you know your audience, you know what to help them with, then I think that's a great time to transition to paid traffic once you have a clear idea of your audience and what you want to help them with. It is
going for your notes.
I know, I cheat. It is cheaper to start. So, I mean, blogging costs you a couple dollars per month to start, and then you can just create that content and learn all the stuff on the website or online. There are more ways to make money with your blog than there is with paid advertising. So blogging, you can actually recommend affiliate products, where if you run traffic straight to an affiliate product, it could be a little hard to exactly measure your conversions. Some affiliates don't pay out until later. You can't really adjust the funnel because it's somebody else's product. So affiliates are great for blogging. Ads on your website, obviously. You can't, what do you call it, arbitrage, pay for ads on Facebook to make money with ads on your website. That's kind of difficult. That's a tricky one. And then you can make organic sales. So it's not going to be as consistent as paid traffic. With paid traffic, okay, I'm going to put this much in. I can monitor it. I can track it. I'm going to get this much out. With blogging, you're like, I'm going to write this blog post. It's going to do good. And then you publish it and you share it to your email list, and you can somewhat predict, especially if you have an email list, you can predict a little bit how much you can make. But if it's just purely blogging and guest posting, you never know exactly how much traffic you're going to get back and how that traffic is going to convert. So blogging is great when you're starting, you're discovering yourself, you want to add that earned traffic to your website or to your business. But once you know you have a product and it does well, then it's a good time to switch to paid traffic.
Awesome. That was a huge list of benefits for the organic side. I wrote down like 3 things. There's a million benefits of the paid side.
I wrote down 3.
You really came to town here, man. I need to get a whiteboard too. So as far as the paid side, everything Susie said is awesome and is entirely true. But I also work a lot with people who maybe have full-time jobs and they maybe have a bit of a wage, like they have some money coming in, but they don't have any time. And I just want you to have both sides of the argument. Sometimes people's time is a bit more valuable than their money. And while blogging is a fantastic way for you to get started and find out who you want to be and who you want to serve, a lot of you already know who you want to serve and who you want to be in the business side. it's not necessarily a prerequisite that you write 100 blog posts before you get into the world of creating a product and marketing that product. In fact, part of what we teach in SFA is kind of a trick where if you don't have a product yet, you can create that along with your paid marketing funnel. And the beauty of doing that is you can get real-time feedback when you put $1 in and you can see what comes out. I worked for Toyota, a huge company. We spent millions of dollars every year on buying data, on buying research about our marketplace, about what they want. And in the beginning, if you're just getting started and you're not getting traffic to your website, if you're writing things, you're not getting any data back, that's not exactly valuable. You're putting a fair amount of time in and not getting even really feedback out. And what I've done with a few clients is be able to create an offer. It could be a free thing that you get email leads for. It could be a slightly small price paid product. But if you put a few dollars in, you're going to get feedback. You're going to get engagement. You're going to get comments. You're going to get people into your funnel. And eventually you can get to a place where you put $1 in and you get around $1 back. And at that point, you can start to build up leads. You can measure it. You see what's happening. And if you're not profitable yet, all you're doing is you're buying data. You're just learning about what's working, what's not working. And so once you get there, once you find that happy place, you can be more consistent. You can monitor your pages, see how they're converting, see why they're not converting, make little tweaks. And instead of pushing out a ton of different new content, hoping this will work, how many of you have looked at Google Analytics and were like, what's working, what's not? It can be a little bit tricky because there's so much out there. So I like the kind of laser focused approach of figure out what works and pull those levers to drive that profitability. But it's not for everybody at all. Susie, who would you say blogging is for before I talk about the paid side?
Man, it was perfect and still is when, I mean, you're on one income, you don't have that idea yet of what you want to sell or what you want to offer the world, and you don't know who your audience is yet. So blogging is fantastic when you're discovering that about yourself. Also great if you're a fantastic writer. Like if you can crank out blog posts or if you have a team that can write for you, you can create this beautiful website with tons of assets that can bring you organic traffic. And you can then convert higher with organic traffic at times than you can with paid traffic, unless you can data-driven test your funnels like John can. Then your paid traffic would do really well. Blogging is fantastic to be an asset for your current business, to build your brand, to add to what you already have, and to test out new ideas without spending too much money on it. It's worked really well. It works for my audience of moms because it gives them not only like, oh, I might potentially make money with it, but it has that other side where it's a creative outlet. It's actually sometimes more for me than it was for the audience, especially when I just started. It was something that helped me get over the baby blues and being stuck at home. So I knew I could make money with it eventually, but it was an outlet for me right in the beginning when I started with it.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I remember staying up late nights because we were just enjoying typing on our computer and connecting with people online. And that was a good portion of the beginning. So if you're going down that earned traffic route, that free route, enjoy the process. Don't care so much about your analytics and looking at it every single day. If you stay true to yourself and enjoy what you're doing, it's going to pay off in the end. People can gravitate towards others when they see they're in their zone, like they're in their moment of genius, and if you're doing your thing, it'll pay off. On the other side, with the paid traffic, it's perfect if you have, I would say, $5 a day that you would be happy to put in and not get back immediately. That's, I would say, the absolute bare minimum of being able to invest into your business. Again, you're not throwing money at Facebook and not knowing what's going to come out. In the beginning, if you can put a couple dollars in, and if you have at least who you want to serve, you might not have the product yet, but there are ways that I show where you can still monetize that experience, where you can get leads essentially for free, or if you're able to convert a few things. We talk all about that in Simple Funnel Academy. And if you know who you want to serve and you have a general idea how you want to serve them, at that point, it is a valuable aspect to toss on a little bit of paid traffic. And especially if you are already doing blogging, doing podcasting some other way, they work better together. In anything, we're talking about one versus the other, but the truth is the union is so much more powerful. All right, that's so lame. Come on. All right, guys. So that is free versus paid, the showdown between the different ways of getting traffic.
What do you
to your-
recommend for people who want to do paid traffic? And what do I recommend for people that want to do free traffic?
Very good question. So if you're interested in going down the route of paid traffic, I have recently launched a program called Simple Funnel Academy. It is a 6-week program that comes with a ton of hands-on help with me, where we dive into your own individual dashboard, your own Facebook analytics. I see just in the live recording, we had a few people sign up. So thank you guys. Thank you, Amelia, and a few others. And it's launching in just a couple of days. It also comes access with a full-blown course, 2 full-blown courses about setting up your marketing funnel, how to get the tech working, how to do the tagging and the automations and the sales and collecting money securely online and selling. It's in depth. You have lifetime access to that, as well as ads by number, which dives into Facebook targeting, Facebook audiences, lookalikes, all the stuff that you need. If you have $5 a day, you'll be able to put that in. And by the end of the course, you'll have a process where you can consistently improve those conversions until it's profitable and scalable. So Simple Funnel Academy, there's a link down in the description below, or just go to simplefunnelacademy.com to get started. The enrollment period is short because it's a very tight-knit group. So get started if you're interested. I think we have a few more, 4 or 5 more spaces left.
Awesome.
And
just
about Freeside?
Oh, sure. And just to give a little shout out that I was able to grow the blog to a level that was way surpassing John's income from corporate. Sorry, I don't mean to like throw you under the bus. But so blogging was fantastic for a way to start and kind of grow our business. But then once we added paid traffic to it, it exploded and hit over 100K per month. So guys, this stuff really works. It's amazing. Like once you know you have something that works, throwing some paid traffic to it, improving your funnels, making them better is just phenomenal. If that's not for you yet, if you're just starting out, if you're like, oh, I want to do an online business, I'm not 100% sure what I want to do, check out Blog by Number. Over 10,000 students are in it. It has over 65 video lessons in depth to help you start and set up your blog and start growing your online business. All right. So awesome. All the links will be below.
Awesome. Thank you guys. And until the next video, be well.